Alright, apparently I'm on. Hi everybody. Hello fellow Super Nintendo enthusiasts. I hope everybody is ready for a little Hulk block. Make sure to stretch. Oh, I have stretched already. Well, this is not going to be an easy block for me. There's tons of games I'm not too competent with, so it's gonna be fun though. It's really gonna be fun. Te escuchamos, muchas gracias, mi amigo. Alright, I guess we are good to go. This is going to be Skyblazer. This was the demo. I was not playing, really. I'm going to play the Japanese version. It's really completely identical to the US one in terms of gameplay, but you save about 18 seconds of text, so there's no reason not to pick this version. And I'm going to explain how the game works as we go along. This is a great game, by the way. If you don't know Skyblazer, I'd recommend checking it out. So without further ado, let's start the game. Alright, so Skyblazer, a pretty cool game with Indian influence. Oh no, I took a hit. Well, don't worry, that's planned. So you can punch, you can kick stuff, and you also have magic, which I'm not going to use right away. Oh, I'm going to take 3 damage though, because I'm very bad at this game. You can also climb. It's a little bit like, I don't know, ninja games, like Ninja Gaiden. Hey, look, this is the big bad guy. But fortunately, because I only have 1 HP, in this cutscene I die in just 1 hit, because this is a cutscene where I get presented with the main bad guy who steals the princess, and during the cutscene where I cannot move, he damages me 1 health at a time. So that's why in this tutorial you want to take 3 damage to deplete your health and make the cutscene last way less long. So yeah, it was all planned. And now I'm woken up by the old man. I think he's called Brahma, because this is all Indian folklore. So yeah, this is Brahma. The princess is Vishnu. The Indian folklore only is how it is in the Japanese version. If you play the US version, everybody is going to be renamed into not Indian. Like the main character is just called Sky, and the old man is called Old Man. So it's not as much fun. So this is the first level. What's the name of this forest again? I can't remember. That's okay, it's over. It's a very straightforward level anyway. There's going to be a little bit more fun in this level, Temple of Infernus. And yeah, Furnace is in the title because, well, there's going to be some fire. We're going to take some damage through this guy in order to pass through this big dragon, because killing him or dodging him is a bit slower. We can also kick flames, so it's pretty badass. I'm going to take damage here, pass through this guy again, walk a little bit on the fire. And fortunately there's a secret here, so that brings us close to the end of the level. I hope I get this. Nice, first try. Yeah, there's zips. I will explain later, don't worry. Because there's a boss now, I need to concentrate a little bit. Okay, we got it. So yeah, this is a boss where you're not supposed to be able to damage him like that as fast, but if you manage to catch him in a loop, and you manage to make a damage right as the lamp is recovering from damage, you will be able to damage him more until he dies. So you can get the boss caught into some sort of loop. So now this is Lorai Cliff. Well, not Lorai, that's in IOG. No, it's some sort of cliff where, well, it's basically an auto-scroller where I can punch stuff. And there's not much to do here. I don't even think this really lags, so I just need to make sure that I safely get across. So during this time I'm going to explain a little bit more about the zip that you saw earlier. So basically this game has a flaw in its engine. If you crouch, punch, and then jump during the punch, your character would be inside of the floor for a duration of 2 frames. And if in the second one of these 2 frames you jump or use magic, you are going to be sent upwards or to the left. So you can basically zip horizontally to the left or vertically upwards. There's techniques to make it a bit easier. Like you can get stuck inside of a corner by using the technique to just climb through walls. And if you are clinging to a wall and inside of the floor, you can more easily do a ground or upward zip. This is going to be featured in this level as well. Oh, and by the way, I gained a new ability by beating the previous boss, which is Comet Dash. And Comet Dash is extremely useful, because I just used it. You can dash through stuff. You are invincible during a dash, and it also makes you fast. So that's pretty cool for the speedrun. I'm going to use another one here. Come on. Okay, nice. That was pretty good. So yeah, those were upward zip. So I used the technique to get myself stuck into a corner, and from that position you can zip upwards by doing a precise input of Y plus B on the same frame. So there's a variety of techniques to do that easily. Oh, I messed up. Okay, got it. That was a ground zip to the left and then an upward zip. When you are inside of the wall, zipping upwards is easy. You can just do Y plus B, it doesn't need to be very precise. But in the previous room with the series of upward zips, it's a little bit more difficult. Because, yeah, it's just Y and B just one frame later. But you get to retry again and again, because you will still be inside of the wall. The only difficulty is for the third one, because I was stuck inside of spikes. If you are stuck inside spikes, and there was a block which was about to crush me, so there I only had 3 tries, but I got it in first try, so it was fine. Oh, and this is a pretty cool boss design, I think. Kind of boring when you know how to make it. But yeah, I like to see new people pick up this game and try to figure out how to beat this guy. Because it's not obvious that you can just tuck yourself into the corner and he will not hit you after the third hit because he will be too big. And after you beat a boss, you have to make sure that you are going to be inside the center of the screen, or close to it. Because there is an animation in the game which will bring you to the center of the screen automatically, and after that it will show you the new power that you gained. But that movement costs time, so you need to reduce it as much as you can. Oh, and the power I got is Heal. It will only be useful in the very last boss. I should not need it before that. And now we're going to cross continents, so we have a little mini-game here. So I'm going to pick up diamonds and gain some lives. I should not really need them, but, well, you know, why not? Now I want to make sure that I quit this minigame as fast as possible, so I'm going to stay on the bottom, and I will be hurt by the first wave of spikes. That will just end the minigame. Okay, I need to make sure that I don't screw up the text, because it matters. There's going to be a menu. No, okay, press down. If I pressed something else, he would start again the dialogue, and I will lose several seconds. Okay, first thing to do, come back to... you need to use the L and R buttons to select what magic you use, so I want to use Comet Dash most frequently because it's fast. I'll use another one, and now input buffer crescent to manipulate RNG into giving me 2 magic refills. It's very, very handy. Oops, okay, I kind of messed it up, that's fine. Well, that's alright. Barely lost any time. Now I'm not going to use any more Comet Dashes in this level. I want to keep my magic for the boss. So it's possible, if you're really lucky, to gain more magic potions from some enemies, but the problem is, well, I'm going to explain it when I don't need to concentrate too much. This is kind of hard. Okay, made that cycle. Yeah, so the way RNG works in this game is the drop you get from enemies just depends on the number of frames since the last door transition. So every time there's a fade to black, that value resets. So if you manage to do some action, like delaying you by a certain number of frames by inputting a crescent, like inputting a magic, as I did previously, you manage to delay yourself by always the same number of frames, and you can consistently force a certain drop. So what is useful generally is to force a magic drop to refill your magic, at least. So the reason why I wanted to conserve all my magic was for this wall boss, because you can easily beat him with 4 comet dashes. I could have used another comet dash in the previous room to save some time, but it was less good. It was actually less worthwhile. It's better to save your magic for the boss. You will save more time that way. Okay, this is a very annoying level, because there's blobs which shoot tiny blobs which can block my comet dash. So I need to be kind of careful. Okay, do this jump. Yeah, I recently figured out a better way to do this this room, but it's very unreliable and very precise. So I'm just doing the old way. Okay, next this is Petrolith Castle. Oh no, that was the ice castle. This one is called I don't remember. Lair of Carrion. This is Lair of Carrion. So now we have some water physics, and with levers which change the water current. So this level is like a maze, a little bit. In some of the later parts you have to figure out which levers to use and where to go through. But thankfully we have comet dashes. Ooh. Do this to activate this lever. So with the comet dash you can go through the current going the other way. So that's very useful to break the puzzle pretty much. And yeah, this place is very convoluted. But with the comet dash you can go through this stream. Okay. And use another comet dash to pick up this magic. Because you want to have full magic for the boss, otherwise it's going to be very bad. But with this extra magic, and shoot here, shoot here. Now, okay. And dead. It's very easy with this magic. It's the magic I got in Petrolith Castle. And it's very useful here. It's going to also be useful in the next boss. If you don't have full magic, you will not be able to do this strategy though. And the boss will be way worse in that case. So you really want to make sure you have full magic. Okay, next we have Sand Rivers of Shirol. So we're gonna start by doing 2 comet dashes. This is kind of a dangerous level to focus for the last part. Just a little bit of waiting. I didn't get that. Okay, nice. Come on. No, that's not what I want. Nope. Okay, that took a while, but I got it. And now I need to go to the parts on the left, but I'm gonna clear the Fortress of Shirol first, because I'm hoping that I will get a lucky magic drop. And unfortunately, contrary to a lot of magic drops in this game, we don't have a way to force a drop. I know that... oh, there's one! We got lucky! That's great. It's okay, I got lucky, that's cool. But yeah, OmniGamer has worked a lot on this game, and he figured out most of the strategies that we use. But he couldn't figure out a way to force a drop here, so I really got lucky. That was not a forced magic drop. But getting this magic drop is going to save about 2 seconds in the next level, so that's cool. I can take that. How friendly is this game for folks new? It's fine. I think the difficulty is pretty balanced. You have to get familiar with the different magics that you can use, but pretty early in the game you're going to have a heal magic, which only costs 2 magic and refills 4 health, and you can use that a lot when you play the game casually. So it's fine, and you also get a lot of lives. There's also some places where you can restart the room and collect the diamonds to gain more lives if you have a problem. So it's okay. It's a pretty fine game for newcomers. So yeah, it's a very good casual discovery. So I really recommend playing this. It's a great game. Okay, this level is filled with stuff and it lags a lot. So that's why it's better to cut it short by just going on the ceiling and dodging everything. And now, this level, what is it called again? I can't remember. It's not Sand Rivers, it's the Jetstream one. And this is a level just made with air currents. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. Even though it's really hard to learn the layout and what's the fastest route. Yeah, when I don't play this game for a while, this is the level I forget the most easily, because the route is really not obvious. And there's several ways to go about it also. There's one here. Okay, nice. And now I'm going to switch to the Stardust Magic, or whatever it's called. This is timing. Okay, good. Nice. Okay, I got the manipulation. So this was just manipulating the timing. You have to get hit and hit him at the right at the start to force him into doing a nice pattern. And then I used the Starbit Magic in order to make sure that at least 2 explosions hit him at the same time to inflict a lot of damage. And after that, you just finish him off with kicks. Okay, now is probably the worst level in terms of speedrunning. It's the most complex one. I hope it's gonna go alright. Oh! I messed it up. That should be fine though. Okay, alright, yeah. You can buffer a jump into a comet dash, and that's very handy. Okay, alright, so I wasted 1 health. It might be a bad thing though, but I still have magic. Come on, no! I really have trouble with that. Get up there, thank you. Health is not bad, is not good. I'm gonna have to die at some point, I think. Okay, I got that at least. I can still try this. Okay, let's see. But the problem is I'm gonna need to die here. I need to do a manipulation, and I need to take this hit. So I want to do this manipulation absolutely, so I'm gonna just take the death, jump, punch, take the hit, kick this guy, and get the magic. So I have full magic for the boss. That's nice. Alright. I have no idea what this boss is, by the way. It's like an elephant pig thingy. So the strategy is you want to stay close to him to force him into doing the pattern where he spits killer tomatoes at him, at you. And at the meantime, you spam him with 2 punches and a Crescent magic. And now he's dead. Okay, that was a pretty perfect boss. It's a shame that I had to die, but that's because I got hit twice, unfortunately. But it was still a pretty good level. I'm glad that I got both the zip and the lava zip, which is also kind of technical. Okay, you can skip this shrine. If you go to the shrine, you will see the old man, and he will give you 1 more health. But I don't really need that, it wastes time. Okay, 3 to the right to select Common Dash. And go through this secret entrance inside of this tree and finish the level. So that was Dragon Hill Forest. It's a really, really short level when you don't know how to do it. And now, the Great Tower. I think this is the 2nd hardest level next to Caverns of Chivalry that we just did. First we're going to have to go inside of this wall. Oh, okay! I got it 4th try, which is the last try. If you take more time into doing this this zip, you will be killed by the giant samurai. Oh, and yeah, I totally went into the ceiling because that's a thing. If you can time, you could get into the ceiling. Actually, the ceiling will only crush you. Sorry. If you are inside it when it connects to the floor, but if it's still not connected to the floor, you can still pass through it somehow. It's still kind of complicated. It's hard to explain how it works because I don't exactly understand how it works. Punch, punch, and we manipulate magic. So that's a really good manipulation. It's the punches make you always frame perfect all the time. It's very, very nice. Small jump to land on this door, and now a very annoying room with alternating water currents. I don't want to kill too much stuff. I'm just gonna have to kill this guy and that guy. Okay, nice. Because if you kill too much stuff, you're gonna lag the game. But sometimes, if anything catches up with you, you will have to kill them anyway. So, okay, that room went well. Okay, I'm using 2 comet dashes here, and saving the last bit of magic for the boss. Okay, I got this first zip first try. Getting hit on purpose. Did I get it? Yeah, it was still a perfect fight, but barely. I got 6 hits with the Super Saiyan. So that's the star magic, which makes you invincible and it doubles the power of your hits. So that's why I could defeat the dragon quite fast. So yeah, but we generally call it the Super Saiyan mode because it's more fun. So now we are getting very close to the end of the game. We are on our way to the last level, but we still need to cross an ocean. So there's another mini game with mode 7 and diamonds. So we're going to need to gain a lot of lives because why not? And also we're gonna die out of it. Yeah, I have 22 lives. I hope that's enough. Okay. Oh, and the last power that we got is the Phoenix. It's a really cool power that turns you into a Phoenix, and you do a lot of damage. And you are invincible, and you can fly and stuff. Yeah, here there's only one text, and then you have to select down. Okay, Raglan's Citadel. Yeah, Raglan is the name of the final boss in English. I'm not sure what it is in Japanese, which is a real Indian. Yeah, I think it's a Rabanna. Yeah, it's a Rabanna. It's probably some Indian god, I guess. I don't really know the Indian lore all that much. And Ashura is the name of the final boss guy, and Rabanna is the god that he's trying to call. Yeah, so this level is kind of scary, to be honest. It's very easy to die here. So I need to be slightly careful. Not use too much magic also. We're just going to use one combat dash to go into the citadel when the door is available. Now. No, okay, good. Okay, equip back Phoenix, and here we have, you guessed it, a boss rush. But fortunately, we have good powers. We have better powers than we used to, so we can beat bosses a bit more easily. And there's not all bosses, just 5 of them. Nice, that was perfect. So this boss is still going to be exactly the same as before. We can't really beat it any faster. You need to hit him with pretty much anything. Even just a punch would do the same as everything else, so there's no reason to use magic. And I want to keep magic so I can do combat dashes in the next room. Oh, yeah, it's very hard to jump above him after the 3rd hit, but it's possible. Yeah, if you want to play it safe, you can just use a combat dash through him. But here I want to conserve magic, as I explained. And finally, last hit. Nice. Okay, next we're gonna have the wall boss, and wall boss is also the same. We're gonna defeat him with 2 combat dashes. Nice. Perfect. Oh! Yeah, he really has 3 independent eyes, and you need to hit all 3 of them. They all have their hitbox, and you have a certain amount of time on each cycle to hit all 3 of them. So make sure that you hear all the ohs, oh, and you make sure that you hit 3 of them. And, oh, and we beat him. Okay, now I'm out of magic, so I'm going to refill it and make sure that I equip Phoenix, because the next boss is going to be the clans. So we're not going to use Stardust, we're going to use Phoenix. It's going to be much faster. You need to be really fast though. Because Phoenix takes 4 magic points, and you only have a total of 8, so you can only turn into Phoenix twice. and it really doesn't last long, so make sure you don't mess it up. And finally is going to be the elephant, pig, boar, whatever thing. Okay, I need to move carefully to make sure that I force him into this pattern, but I don't want to be too close to him because otherwise he would turn around and that might mess it up. Okay, this was pretty perfect. Okay, the boss rush is finished, and now we're gonna fight final boss, Ashura. Make sure you don't press X on the one frame here. It happened to me once and it's ruined the run. Because you can turn into the Phoenix in the cutscene and lose 4 magic. This boss is not hard, because you can just finish him off with 2 Phoenixes, but the timing is really close, so if you mess it up just slightly, it will be a lot longer. Because you will be out of magic, and you have to replace every missing Phoenix hit by 4 kicks, so that takes a lot of time, and you will probably die in the process. So it's easy, but there's very little room for error. And also, his movement is random. He will either fly away or stop for fireball, so you have to be looking out. Oh, and by the way, it's not the end, because now he has completed the ritual to invoke Robanna, so we have to fight him as final boss. So this is basically a damage race. I need to focus a bit, because I need to attack with a certain timing. Okay, I take damage. Okay, nice. Now, so here I'm using the heal magic to heal myself. Oh. Nice, okay, good. That's pretty good. We're getting close. Oh, he will die just before me. That should be the last hit. And this is it. Oh, nice time. Sub 26. I'm pretty glad about that. That was a really good time. Even though I took a death, but I think that death was still worth it. Or probably evened out with fighting a boss with less magic, because that would be much slower. No, maybe it didn't even out. It was actually faster to take the death to ensure the magic drop. I'm pretty happy about this. 25:55 is a pretty nice time for a marathon run. Sub 26. I'd take anything sub 26. Okay, so this was Skyblazer, or Karura-O, the name of the Japanese game. And I believe the next one is going to be a game with a similar name, Sparkster. So I hope I made myself look good with Skyblazer, because Sparkster is not going to be as good, for sure. It's going to be fun though, it's going to be fun, and it is going to be quite a struggle. I'll explain that, don't worry. So we're ahead of schedule, so that might not be the case after Sparkster. So let's go to Sparkster. Woo! And Sparkster has several difficulty settings.